Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices for Thursday, March 31st. So, I won't go into the bigger picture. We're just on the 5,000 tick chart here. We've been tracking from the low here. This move to the upside here. We've got one more little push to move up here, because you can quite clearly see from wave 4 here as 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, the third wave, fourth wave and fifth wave here. And then we'll pull back to maybe to the wave 4 of one lesser degree, or the 4,500 would be a nice sort of area for that to pull back. So we're not interested in trading up. That's good for for intraday traders. We can take a look at that, but otherwise, if we can identify this as being a corrective pattern for wave 4 here, because it may be a top in play here as well, because I've taken this here as 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5. So there's a couple of different ways to look at it. I don't want to confuse the issue. What we're going to do is we'll just observe that move to the upside, and then we'll observe this move to the downside, and if we note that it's corrective, well, then we'll trade a long trade to the upside there. I think we can just look at this. That's 5,000 ticks. This is just 2,000 ticks here, so this gives a better picture of it at this stage. So yeah, so this little area here, that's the 78.6 retracement level, which is the square root of 61.8%, as you may know. And in terms of the levels, we've come off the 45. The next level up is after 5. We're using the Fibonacci numbers, the sequence, as a price ratio. So 1, 2, 3, 5 and 8 is the next one up here. When we talk about 8, we talk about group 2. In this case, it's minor group 2, and that will be the 4,800, the 4,720 and the 4,650. So I would imagine that we can move up to this space here and not find support on this level, and then start to work ourselves to the downside. So what I can also say too, that if we do find support on this level here, on the 4,650, a tested support, trading it above it is not support. If we get something of this nature here, if that's the 4,650, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the correction, then gets support on here, well, then I've probably made a mistake, and we're going to go further up into that point, because normally once the market finds support on the 4,650 on the lower end of group 2, then it does work itself higher here. Yeah, so that's what we're looking at pretty much, and that's what we're going across most of the other indices. We looked at the bigger picture yesterday, so I don't need to do that, but yeah, just going from wave 4 to wave 5 here as a possible top, but probably wave 3 and then 4 and then wave 5 here. Now if we get wave 5 over here, I'll just plonk this in here. If we can call this wave 5, then we can also call this wave 1 here, or possibly even wave 3. I've got another count that takes us even sort of higher, but I won't go into all of that. This can be a top here. When you look at the, I won't go into it, but this is going to be quite important, this top here. This one here, not so much. So yeah. So that's that. Yeah, we'll go into the bigger picture. That will take up. We'll see where we are tomorrow with this, right? We'll just go step by step. We'll just inch our way forward with all of this at this point. The NASDAQ is much the same as well. We can see, I've got blue wave 3 and green wave 3 here, same with 4 here, and the same with 5 up here. It doesn't matter at this point. But we've got 1 and 2 here, and we're looking up for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, the third wave, fourth wave. So we're looking for one more little move up here, and then we should see some sort of corrective pattern that should stay within group 1 and group 2 here of the 15,000. So this is going to give us a nice setup in this space here. So we just need to just give it a little bit of time, but you know, if you feel like trading up, then looking for a classic trading levels pattern on the 100 and the 200, and then it will probably go higher than 300, but probably fail to find support the 300 as the NASDAQ, as the S&P struggles to find support on the 4650. And we've been tracking the triple Q, so we've been counting up here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3 and 4, and 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 for 3, coming back, wave 4 coming back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So we can expect another little move up here. Because the extension's in wave 3 here, then we can expect wave 1 here and wave 5 to be roughly the same. Don't expect it to be point for point, just a visual thing, to give you a bit of an idea. But yeah, that's where we're looking at it at that point. And much the same with the Dow here as well. We'll just plonk that over here though, and we'll pull that over here. The wave 4 just got a bit ugly if they do so, an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave, and then going up for it's going up for this move here to finish off there. So we won't go into the bigger picture and talk about that, because really what I want to do with all of this, if we get this, then I really just want to, all the markets and the stocks mainly, because the stocks create the indices situation to a point. I mean, obviously there's a lot of options and futures and things that go into things as well, so into the indices, but yeah, taking it all in stride. I just want to, see what we get over here for this, but we'll probably end up moving up from that point. But we can use the 35 here as a setup, and we can look at this as the arrival here, the reaction here, and then the first high above the level, which is always in 5 waves, and then the ABC, and then we can look to get back in long over here for that. The Russell, this is the ETF here, slightly different from the futures, but in a nutshell we're looking pretty bullish, I have to say, with 1 and 2 here. And then in this case I can count 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 5 waves up here for 3, 4, 5 for the third wave. That's in the wrong space. I could say I'm dyslexic, but the truth is I'm just a bit thick. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for third, fourth and fifth, as 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 here. The fourth is really pulled back, but we know it's a fourth because all the other markets are in fourth. Hasn't really, it's sort of overlapped wave 1 a little bit, but you've got to be a little bit philosophical about these things at times. I mean, we could drag that into this situation here, but it's not in line with the rest of the markets, and I think we really need to do that. So yeah, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. So we might have a good trade situation going on over here for this. On the futures market, I can also get this to be wave 1 over here for this. So I've got two things going on with this at the moment. Just the daily chart for this is a CFD product here, so it's got the cash and the futures sort of built into it. So, but as you can see, we can look at this as 1 and 2 here, but I can also look at this as being wave 1 and 2 at this particular point here. I mean, it looks pretty obvious that we should put wave 1 and 2 here, but when I actually pull it apart on the tick chart, it gives a pretty good case for this. So I've got two things going on here, but it shouldn't bother us at all. We should still be able to get the long trade set up at this point. So we've got it on the 5k, 1k and 100. So let's just cruise in and have a quick look at these. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, that will be in the same with the ETFs in that case. And then on the 1k tick here, I've got it counted quite a bit differently here for that, but yeah, so in this one here, I mean, I've got it counted a bit differently. We could probably remove the A, the B and the C here for this, but this is where a lot of stocks can top out as well. So I'm a little bit, I mean, once we get that in there, and then we get this ABC, if we get an ABC pattern back here, then we can pretty much rule out the bearish pattern on that side of it, so it shouldn't matter. But yeah, but the point being here is that I can count 1 and 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3. Maybe I've made a mistake in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here maybe. And that would push that to there. Yeah, if I've made a mistake, it's in now. I'm going to go to the 100 ticks and just check on that. Yeah, so I've briefly had this is slightly just different, same count, different labeling, but I've got 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 here, and then going up for the 5 for the 1 over there. But I just need to investigate this little bit here for a moment. It's okay, that's pretty obvious, that's cool. Where was I looking? I was looking in here, wasn't I? Okay, well that's the difference there, isn't it? Splitting hairs a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'm going to leave that where it is, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think it's going to hurt me to run both counts, really. I think that's pretty obvious. That little 5 wave there. It looks like a bit of a B wave there, but I'd count this. Looks like a B wave down here, so 1 and 2 here. Sorry, 1 here, an A wave here, B wave here, C wave for 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's how I was looking at that, just by the by. But yeah, this wave 4's pulled back, so it's not going to bother us too much, and I'll line it up with the other ducks, you know, and we'll take it from that point. So yeah, I'll just leave it all at that. I think that's pretty simple. Oh, that's just Goldman's, but I mean, this is with Goldman's. This is a daily chart here. This is why I'm getting the bearish patterns, you know, because we could look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and that means it would get some sort of ABC pattern here and then drop down here again. So that's where I'm sort of getting my bear from in the markets, you know, mainly, you know, partly, anyway, quite a dominant thing. So Morgans are the same and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, obviously this wave 4 here overlaps this here, but yeah, and I could look at it as an A wave and a B wave and a C wave, and we can go up from that point. Yeah, no, I've got to use that as the top. So yeah, it's a bit haunting, the banks, I have to say. But lifting interest rates up, you think that they might, you know, move up. Obviously, it's kept them at their lows here, as support. Anyway, don't worry about that at the moment, but just letting you know that's where one of my bearish things is coming from when I'm looking at stocks and indices. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.